Good morning everyone. Today we are on the last part of our chapter 3rd, water bodies. In this part of our video, we will discuss about rivers and the characteristics of rivers, causes of pollution of rivers, and then measures to be taken to stop pollution. These are the main topics which we are going to discuss in this part. This is the 4th part of our video. Now about rivers. What are rivers? Rivers are water bodies that usually starts or which originates from a mountainous region. And it flows and finally reaches another water body like sea, ocean, etc. So rivers are usually having 3 courses. We call it as 3 courses of rivers. It starts from the mountain, it's called upper course. It flows towards the plain, that is middle course, and then when it reaches the ocean, when it joins with the ocean, it is called the lower course. So these 3 courses are there. And now we will talk about the types of rivers. There are 2 types of rivers. The first type is called snow-fed rivers. Snow-fed rivers are rivers that usually originates from a mountainous region. Mountainous region means from glaciers. It starts from glaciers. And then what happens, it get water from the glacier, like our Ganga river get water from the Himalayan glaciers. It starts as a stream and it flows and become a very huge water body. That's the first type of river, that is river that gets water from glaciers, called snow-fed rivers. Second type of river is called rain-fed rivers. Rain-fed rivers usually originates in the equatorial region where plenty of rainfall is available. So in such type of rivers, they get water from the rain. So these are the 2 different types of rivers, snow-fed rivers and the rain-fed rivers. Now we will move to the next part, that is characteristics of rivers. They are dynamic in nature. Rivers are constantly in change. They changes the land through which it flows. They changes its course and make so many disturbances and changes in the nearby areas, and also makes the nearby land fertile. Most of the cities and towns are on the bank of rivers. When we studied about river valley civilizations, at that time we studied that rivers gives water, fertile soil and easy transportation. That is why from the earlier ages itself, people started settling near the rivers. So here these are the characteristics of rivers. They are dynamic in nature, they changes the environment or the area through which it flows, and it also results in the formation of cities, and like that so many characteristics are there of rivers. Now we will move to the next part, that is what are the causes of pollution. What are the causes of pollution of rivers? There are so many causes are there. The first one is called the urbanization. When towns and cities are formed, there is rapid increase in population, and when the population increases, people need waste disposal, and they start disposing their waste on the rivers, and that is one reason for the disturbance of the river and the deterioration of its condition. The using of fertilizers, pesticides, chemicals, agricultural waste and factory waste, all these things disturb our water and results in pollution. Then our religious and social practices, cremation grounds, and so many river banks are used for cremation, and all these things, and after every religious festival people used to put the murtis in water, like that they pollute the water. So these are the main causes for polluting the water. The next one is what are the measures which we can take to stop this pollution. Measures to be taken, strict measures should be taken by the government so that we can protect our water, because the water level, how much water we have and how much which we can use is a limited one. We cannot use water by we can use it by recycling, but it is not a thing which is like sunlight or like wind. It's renewable. It's not a renewable resource, so we have to use it very carefully. Otherwise, we'll lose it. So we have to protect the water, conserve the water, not only for us, we have to protect it and conserve it for our future generation. So regulation should be made for waste disposal. Regulation should be made for controlling the factories to put chemicals and other things into the water. And the government should take strict action in the case of urbanization and increasing in population. If the population is increasing, then the government should take measures for controlling and regulating the pollution of water. And all these things are given in detail in the second part of our video, where we will see the important points and what all things you have to study for the exam and the important points and question answers. So let's move to the next part of our video.
Let us start with rivers. A river is a stream of water which originates from highland, flows continuously through the valley, and finally drains into a lake or a sea or ocean. So it's a stream of water that originates from highland like mountain, plateaus, etc. and then it finally reaches a lake, sea or ocean. The place from where river originates, it's called its source. And where the river ends is called its mouth. Very important point. The place where the river originates is called its source, and where it ends is called its mouth. The river begins at source, flows a path called a course, and ends at a mouth. Every time we usually divide the course of a river in three categories: upper course, middle course and lower one. So upper course, usually it flows through the mountainous region or in from the hilltop, from where it starts like a stream, and then it comes to the plain region. And the lower course means where it joins with the ocean or sea or any other water body. Now we will see the next part of our chapter, that is characteristics of a river. River flowing across the surface of the earth in a channel and usually ends at sea, ocean or lake. Rivers are constantly changing. They are dynamic in nature. Rivers change the landscape through which they flow. River of aggregate estuaries at their mouth are excellent feeding ground of ducks, geese and seabirds. The river may be snow-fed or rain-fed. Usually the rivers are of two types: snow-fed rivers, the rivers that start from mountains, from where they get the water from snowfall or that melting of ice. Rain-fed rivers are usually seen in the equatorial region where continuous rainfall is there. So two types of rivers: snow-fed river and rain-fed river. Banks of rivers form an ideal location for the situation of towns and cities. So most of the towns and cities are situated on the bank of rivers. When you studied about the civilizations, even we studied that most of the civilizations started on the bank of rivers, and most of the big cities are also on the bank of rivers, because the river banks provide them water, easy transportation, and the fertility of land is high in those areas. So due to this three reasons, from the early time onwards, people used to live, or they prefer to live near the rivers. Some famous rivers of the world: Ganga, Godavari, Missouri, Colorado, Seine, Ob, Rhine, Parana, Amazon, Murray, Zambezi, Zaire, Tigris, Irrawaddy, Mekong, Changjiang, Thames, Indus, Mississippi, St. Lawrence, Rio Grande, Danube, Mackenzie, Volga, Paraguay, Orinoco, Darling, Orange, Nile, Euphrates, Huanghe, Lena and Amur. These are some of the important rivers of the world. And now we'll move to the next part of our chapter, that is about the pollution. The most important problem which we face now is this pollution. There are several causes responsible for water pollution in the world. They are urbanization, use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides in agriculture, agricultural waste, oil spills, discharge of industrial waste into the rivers and seas, religious and social practices. Urbanization is a process by which rapid changing of a particular area from rural to urban. In such areas, population will be high and the land area will be less. There will be problem of waste disposal, and that results in the pollution of water. People start disposing their waste in the water. That results in the environmental pollution. When the fertilizers and pesticides are used, it also pollute the water. During the rainy days, this water, this pesticides and other things used in the or chemicals used in the field will be washed, and it will finally reach the water body. Oil spills, wastage oil from city drains, tanks, and which is leaked, usually reaches the ocean and seas, and that pollute the water. Discharge of industrial waste, and during religious ceremonies people used to take bath, and they used to put the waste materials into the sea into the water bodies, and dead bodies are usually cremated near the river banks, and all these things results in the deterioration of the condition of water bodies. Now the next one is measures to be taken to stop water pollution. What all measures we can take? The unequal distribution of water on the earth and its increasing demand due to increasing population is becoming a concern for all. The pollution of water makes it difficult for water to support life in rivers and seas. Millions of people die after consuming contaminated water every year. It is essential for everyone on our planet to grow and prosper, but we disregard it by polluting our rivers, lakes, sea, and ocean. It is not for a single person or a group. These water bodies are for everyone. So we have to use it properly so that our next generation can also use it well. So we have to take some measures for that. They are: in order to combat water pollution, we must understand the problem and become a part of its solution. We have to become its part. Rivers, reservoirs, water bodies, and watersheds will be protected from environmental degradation, protected from degrading. Special emphasis should be given to water management through recycling water and conserve the water. Control of water pollution and legislation and regulation relating to control water pollution should be implemented. So these are the measures which the government and as a citizen which we can take for the conservation of water and to protect our rivers and our water bodies. So that is all about our third chapter, water bodies, and the notes are uploaded in the YouTube. You can watch that, you can write the notes, and if any doubts are there you can message me. So thank you for watching.